Uh,
Here we go.
I remember I talked about when I was at Squeenix when Wada stepped down and Matsuda stepped in,
Yeah.
and the president, the square leader, Squeenix leader, basically the change in ideology and the differences were such that Wada was being too bold and he was going against what what some of the board and what some of the investors, so to speak, would have wanted. And anyway, there's a whole complex thing to that. But here was what we got. We got the New Year
Hey, you
letter.
kids heard of the cloud? Our cloud's
NFTs.
gonna be the best.
NFTs.
Whatever happened with that?
Coming big and strong to the Squeenix. It's kind of funny that it's like the New Year's message because it's
Yeah.
the biggest, hardest commitment to it ever.
Literally the very first thing of game news I saw this year.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, that goes over about as well as you can expect.
So do you have the quote? Because the quote's wild.
I have the 3-page thing.
Okay, hold on. Sir, can you control F it?
Yeah. No, I can't. It's a JPEG.
Okay. Oh God. Because there's the quote.
I can control F it now. What am I looking for?
The word fun.
Fun. Okay. As in not a non-fungible token, but okay. I realize that some people who play to have fun, and those who currently form the majority of players have voiced their reservations towards these new trends, and understandably so. However, I believe that there will be a certain number of people with whose motivation to play to contribute, by which I mean help to make the game more exciting.
I can understand that people who play games to enjoy themselves are worried, but what if money?
Kotaku got together a bunch of quotes from Japan's message board
Netizens.
responses. Yeah, they're all just like, well, like if this is an announcement, that Square Enix is finished. Is the first one. And I was just like,
So
Jesus Christ, like
it says to say
yeah.
that the Square Enix put out a mobile game a little while ago, a Japanese mobile game, and that had NFTs in it,
Mhm.
and their NFTs sold out, and they did a second batch of NFTs. So that's their one use case,
Mhm.
and they went, see, look, it's a big success.
Mhm.
And the number one thing to take away from that is that Japanese mobile game consumers are not anyone else. That is a very, very different market.
I think the other thing that's a takeaway that is something to introduce to this conversation, because otherwise every week it's just here's the latest, here's what it's fucking, here's where it's going, here's who's doing it, is an idea that I've seen discussed a couple places where at first I was like, who's going around, which crypto bro is coming into the board meeting and talking to them, and it's the thought is that it's likely investors that are aware of the trend, that are pressuring the companies that they're invested in.
And investors don't care about anything than new investment opportunities. So
Of course.
NFT looks like free money.
Yeah. So, when just like we would all like take pain of the people yelling at Iwata back in the day when you would have to read through those logs, similar to now, it'd be like, why can't you become a different kind of company than the company you've been for the whole time that I
Why
invested
can't you
in?
just make become a company that just makes money, which is what Konami did.
Yeah. Stop
Konami
making
literally
games.
did that.
Stop making games and become a different thing.
And then COVID annihilated the patchy slot market while enormously growing the video game market. Oops.
And the problem, of course, is that there's no real way to ever you can never escape the dumb, they don't give a fuck about what you're making investor ideologies and pressure. At best, you can do what Iwata did, which is, yeah, thank you, got it, okay, all right, we're looking into it, got it, okay, all right, moving along, you know. So that's probably going to continue to be as cancerous and loud as it has ever, and you know, when it's coming from the people who are bankrolling, the hands are even more tied than you would expect.
So I can just viscerally feel, like you were describing, investors or maybe even a couple board members, right? Just becoming hardcore crypto bros and needing to be appeased, right? My prediction for this is the same as many others. Much like Square Enix's cloud service, this is a new trend that will not make any money, and people who have ultimate control probably know it won't make any money. So they're going to make a studio for it, and they're going to say, we're developing something.
Make an announcement to make them happy.
And they're gonna just blow $100 million fucking dollars into appeasing 3 guys in the board meeting, and it will nothing will happen. Like absolutely nothing. Like
Maybe.
Our one use case is Ubisoft just did it, and it was a total failure.
The courts, yeah, it could literally just be a, here is our side thing to make you happy, and that'll be that. Could be.
Also, as the number one feeling off of this is the hypocrisy, because one of the reasons that Final Fantasy 14 is currently undergoing a server shortage is because of crypto in general. There's also the semiconductor shortage, yada yada, but it's totally self-defeating. And the worry of some, I saw a really funny post today. There's a healer ability called Rescue, where you just grab a person and you can yank them towards you. It's to save them. You can use Rescue to kill people by pulling them towards you off the edge of something, or pulling them into an AoE that will kill them for sure, etc. And people are talking about, if FF14 gets NFTs, I will roll a healer, and anytime I see somebody with an NFT, I will use Rescue to kill them. And it's like, whoopsie doodle. That being said, the worry, particularly of FF14 being like, you know, their online big service game being ripe for NFTization, it can't. It actually can't have NFTs put into it for a couple of reasons. One, the game is still running on the absolute worst engine of all time. Any change to it of a significant nature would break it. But two, there are millions and millions and millions of people who own FF14 on Steam, which does not allow crypto transactions or NFTs of any kind. True. And you cannot buy standalone expansions and use them with your Steam copy. Your Steam copy has to buy Steam versions of the expansions because of the way the account system works. So unless they want to get rid of 9 million subscribers,
the platform stops it from being a possibility. And furthermore, it stops anything Square is currently doing from being on Steam. Yeah.
So I'm seeing a future for mobile. Yeah. Is what I see.
I mean, there's definitely an energy of quiet dread on Twitter at the very least, where it's like, okay, which company is going to come out and disappoint you today? And that'll continue to be the case. But there's one person who apparently won't, and that's good old Joseph Fares.
Oh, I love you, Joseph.
I'd rather get shot in the knee than include NFTs in the games.
That dude is so for real.
He's the realist. The realest
man in video games.
So there you go. Holding it down.
Yeah, as Kai9 in our chat points out, now that dude is a fucking auteur.
Oh, yeah, to use the word. Yeah.
God damn it.
It's just it unfortunately is going to sound pretentious every time the word is used. However, I don't think I'm going to start using it. Yeah.
I don't know.
But there's
I
a
don't know,
meaning
man.
to it.
Like
There's a meaning to
Kojima
it.
in video games and Miyamoto, right, are just like they're the definition of the word, right? And you or Scorsese, right? Like, oh, hey, it's time for another Scorsese movie that's going to be about the mob, and it's going to have the same 10 incredible actors that are
Getting
going to keep
old.
making Scorsese movies before they die.
In fact, the movie's about them getting old and dying.
Ah, crap.
Don't look too hard, as we're supposed to be convinced. Oh god, shoutouts to
Like,
shitty movie details where they're like, in this scene in The Irishman, you know, like you can see as Robert De Niro is de-aged with technology in a way that tries to convince audiences that this is not an old man giving weak kicks to a dude on the floor.
oh man. I just like, okay, you're watching a movie, right? You're watching a movie, okay? And Sam Jackson walks out and he's yelling at somebody. And then Sam Jackson walks away and it pans down to some lady's big ass feet. Who's directing?
An
if
auteur.
you can answer that question,
An auteur.
then that person's an auteur.
Auteur.